2008 Porsche Cayman S for sale right now in Concord, California. Manual transmission, rear-wheel drive, full service records available, clean title. So, we are going to walk through exactly what is being offered here, the details, the condition, the specs, and what you should know before reaching out to the seller. This particular example is finished in macadamia metallic, a warm brown metallic exterior color. Step inside and you have a sand beige premium leather interior with heated memory seats, Bluetooth connectivity, and a CD changer. 2 seats, no rear bench. The setup is simple and focused. The odometer reads 111,150 miles, and the seller describes the overall condition as excellent. The exterior and interior are both reported to be in good shape. The history is listed as clean, with no significant damage or major problems noted. A Carfax report is available, and the seller states that full service records are on hand, documenting the maintenance history of this car. That kind of paperwork is always worth reviewing carefully, and we will come back to why that matters in a moment.
The transmission is a 6-speed manual. For anyone who has been around used Porsche listings for a while, you already know that a manual gearbox on a car like this is genuinely harder to find than it used to be. A large portion of Cayman S examples from this era were sold with the automatic Tiptronic option, so a properly documented manual example does stand out in the current used market. Now, let us talk about what the Cayman S actually is and where it came from, because context helps when evaluating whether a listing like this makes sense for your situation.
Porsche introduced the Cayman in 2006 as a 2-seat mid-engine coupe, sitting between the Boxster and the 911 in their lineup. The Cayman S was the higher specification version, featuring the larger engine and additional performance tuning. The mid-engine layout, meaning the engine sits behind the driver but in front of the rear axle, was a deliberate engineering choice by Porsche to achieve a specific weight balance. That balance became one of the more talked about characteristics of this generation of Cayman in automotive circles. Whether that translates into something meaningful for a buyer really depends on how and where you plan to use the car. Under the rear lid of this example sits the 3.4-liter flat-6 engine, factory rated at 295 horsepower and 251 pound-feet of torque. Porsche quoted a 0 to 60 time of 4.8 seconds for this model when it was new. Fuel economy from the original EPA ratings sits at 20 miles per gallon city and 29 miles per gallon highway. These are manufacturer figures from the model year. Real-world fuel economy in daily use will vary depending on driving habits and the current condition of the engine and supporting systems. Speaking of current condition, the car has 111,150 miles on it, and that is a number worth being honest about. The flat-6 engines in this generation of Porsche have generally shown reasonable durability when maintained on schedule, but over 100,000 miles on any used vehicle means wear has accumulated. What matters here is the documentation. The seller claims extensive servicing with records to back it up. If those records are complete and consistent, that changes the picture considerably compared to a higher mileage car with no paperwork. Reviewing those records carefully and having an independent mechanic evaluate the engine, transmission, and suspension before any decision is made is not optional. It is necessary.
Seller details are available in the description below. Now, the asking price is $25,995 for a 2008 Cayman S with a manual gearbox and documented service history. That number sits within a reasonable range when compared to current used market values for this generation, though the actual value of any specific car depends entirely on what an independent inspection reveals. If the condition holds up to scrutiny as described, there may also be some room for a respectful conversation on price. Listings that have been on the market for a period of time sometimes have a degree of flexibility. This is a 2-seat sports car with limited cargo space. It is not designed for everyday practicality. For someone in their 50s or beyond who is considering a used sports car for weekend use, longer scenic drives, or simply the enjoyment of a well-engineered machine, this is the type of listing that is worth evaluating properly rather than scrolling past.
If you find these detailed used car breakdowns useful, subscribe to the channel. We go through listings across the United States and give you the straightforward information you need to make your own informed decision. And please remember, we do not own this vehicle, and we have no connection to the seller whatsoever. All information shared in this video has been sourced directly from the publicly available listing and is presented strictly for educational and informational purposes only. Prices, availability, and vehicle condition can change at any time. Always verify everything independently. Inspect the car in person and consult a qualified mechanic before making any purchase decision. Thanks for watching.